My name is Bobby Powell. Go. My name is Bobby Powell. I am the Director of Operations for My Vape Bar LLC, which covers both Marietta Vape Bar and My Vape Bar Manufacturing, which is our new lab that we opened up just recently right down the road. The first thing is, how did I come into vaping? I was a longtime smoker. I started out just like every other kid. I thought it was the cool thing to do. And eventually it became a habit that I couldn't kick. And from there, I proceeded to smoke for years and years, starting around the age of 14. Uh, when the first electronic cigarettes came out, I picked one up thinking that it would be kind of cool, something kind of different. And I actually attempted to use it in the beginning as a quitting method, but the current methods that were out, the small little, this was even before blues came out, the nicotine delivery just wasn't there for me, so I ended up becoming a hybrid. I would smoke and I would try to vape. I would kind of split it half and half, and then came out like the stronger stuff and the evods and stuff like that. Kind of got stuck on those for a little while, and it brought my smoking down even farther. But I could never truly quit. And then a few things happened in my life where the stress and stuff like that, I've hopped right back on smoking. And then I ran into a guy through a mutual friend. His name was Robbie Greenlee. And Robbie was sitting there playing around with all these different newer devices that had come out since the last time I had picked up an electronic cigarette. And I remember taking the first pull off of it and realizing that I could do this. I could actually successfully do this. I could quit. I could be a non-smoker. And it was probably one of the most empowering things that I'd ever, discovered. You discover that this habit that you've been trying to get rid of forever is now being completely replaced, and very quickly, I might add. I went from a pack and a half to 2 packs a day, and in the next month, I think I was down to not smoking at all and primarily vaping. And for me, that was a big thing. Cancer has always been a huge plague in my life. I lost a friend of mine when I was very young to cancer, and then followed by family. And it's one of those things, like, I didn't want to end up that way. And this being a healthier decision, it was a no-brainer to go down that path. But that's pretty much how I came into it. And I vaped for years.
All right, I just
What have been the positive results of vaping? I would have to say everything. Um, my standard of living went up drastically. I went from huffing and puffing, just trying to move around and play with my child, to where now I can wrestle around and play, and I don't feel that shortness. I mean, I'm kind of an overweight guy, so now when I stop and I'm short of breath, it's because I'm a little chubby and don't do cardio as much as I should, instead of that smoker's cough that always followed into an absolute fit. Other positive experiences that I've just experienced through vaping is watching people that have also struggled, that I've helped along the way, to live healthier lives, and watching them be able to breathe, be able to, you know, go out and do things they never did. I mean, that's kind of what drove me into being a part of the industry. I'll keep going.
yeah, sure.
Um, I mean, I entered the industry after being a smoker for so long, and then got to see so many people that struggled from the same things that I struggled from. People that really truly wanted to quit, but never actually found the perfect device for them, which is where vaping is just super positive in that aspect. You have Chantix, you have your Nicoderm, you have stuff like that. Everything like that, it's just designed. It's designed to fail. Whereas there's so many different styles of vaping that you can find a style to help somebody get off of cigarettes. Take Chantix for example. Chantix, there's a suicide rate that comes along with Chantix. Vaping, I don't think there's not a single recorded case out there of somebody that's committed suicide from vaping. I mean, it's insanity. But the industry overall has been a very positive influence on my life. I got my wife to quit smoking. I quit smoking. I've got my mother-in-law. She is now from 2 packs a day. She's now down to a pack and a half a week, which is, just watching her be able to start moving around and getting a little bit better just from cutting down like that. It's just an amazing experience.
Cool.
So I came into the industry first through a company called Vape City, where they gave me my initial shot, and I was just a sales rep. And through that, I was able to help many more people quit smoking, and it was an awesome feeling. This was the first time, I did construction and security and all these other jobs before I came in this, but this was finally a job that I really felt that I woke up in the morning and I didn't dread going to work, because I knew when I got to work, my job every day was to help people quit smoking. It's probably one of the most rewarding feelings that you'll ever have, is knowing that people come in, they get what they need, and they leave. I mean, I've seen so many different people come in when I was at that shop that would not. That I had, for a case, I had this old guy that just said he would refuse to quit smoking. He smoked 4 packs a day some days and all this other stuff. And we put him on a device, and the next thing you know, he comes in bragging about how he's had 3 cigarettes in a week. And this is not just for a younger community. This is for an older community as well. There's so many people out there that would be benefited from this. From Vape City, I came to Marietta Vape Bar, and just started working here initially as a marketing guy, furthering doing what I wanted to, and started working with Justin Kicklighter, the owner of Marietta Vape Bar, to further the business in a direction that we needed to be headed. Once people started talking about regulations, we started looking around and finding the ways that we could change to make ourselves better, to prepare ourselves for what was coming. What was coming was unknown to everybody. Nobody knew what it was, but we knew one thing, and we knew one thing only, that there were going to be standards set for e-liquid manufacturing. What we did from there is we started out with a smaller lab and started producing all of our liquids in there. These were changes we made together. We started producing liquids in labs. We started, bringing in, looking more at what qualities a company should have before we would bring them in. If we knew that your juice was made in a shed, we didn't want it. We wanted to know that your stuff was made at the standard that our own was set. We set the bar high, and we expected everybody else to follow. The regulations that have come out are going to be staggering. Within 2 years, this industry, as it stands right now, 99% of it's not going to make it. And which, the amount of people it's going to put out of work. I have 8 employees that would all be without jobs. Guys with families, guys with kids. Myself included, with a wife and kid myself. These are people that are going to be put out. And what are they going to be left with? They're going to be left with 2 scenarios. You're either going to have your few that go back to smoking, or you're going to have your prohibition style juice makers that are going to pop up. And instead of knowing where these people are getting it from, where it's supposed to be made in a quality environment, they'll no longer know that everything they're vaping and putting into their body was made in a quality environment whatsoever. This could come from somebody's bathroom. This could come from somebody's kitchen. This could come from a rickety shed in the back. There's not going to be that standard that needs to be in the industry of quality. This is something we're putting into our bodies, and it needs to come from a trusted source.
So, Bobby, who wins in this battle, and what is the impact if there's a loss?
The regulations, that battle, the winner currently is Big Tobacco. This is the Big Tobacco Protection Act. That's the only way to look at it. They're worried about losing money by us helping people. Medical documents don't lie. The British Board of Physicians encourages this. One of the most esteemed medical associations in the world backs this. You can't argue with science. Science is proven. So that's what's going to happen. The ramifications are going to be a destruction of an industry. The destruction of an industry not only on a national level for the United States, but then you're going to also notice that there's a lot of other countries that are going to fall behind because we couldn't take a stand. So we all need to get involved. We all need to be a part of advocacy. We all need to make that fight, because it's not just us we're fighting for. It's everybody else.
Cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate your time.